rounds for a track and car. Alright, Spain and Austin. Aston. I want to be Fernando. Fernando's my washed goat. Let's see, difficulty. Let's put this up to 80 seems fair, I think. Realistic and dynamic. Weekend structure. Oh, let's do one shot quali and then short race. Cause why not? Actually, I could just do a long race. You know what? Fuck it, I'll do a long race. Are my assists good? Yeah, I think my assists good. I've never raced on Spain with manual control, so this is going to be interesting because I'm not sure what my gear timings are, and I'm not even doing proper qualifying. I'm just going into it with just one shot qualifying. So my qualifying is probably not going to be very good. Let's see though. Might be goated, might be not goated. I also haven't played F1 in like a week at least, I think. So it might be a bit rusty, but let's see how good we are. Oh, okay. Do I have a setup for Spain? I don't think I have a setup for Spain. Oh shit, okay. Spain is like probably I want medium wings. Closer to 50 I believe, because a lot of stuff turning. We don't want front camber. We want maybe 2 toe in and then no rear toe in. I would like the suspension to be a bit softer, and we can bring the ride height down because there's not a lot of curb riding in Spain. Brake bias, we can bring this down as well. Other way. Let's go for like 53, and then I can adjust it during the race. PSI, we can drop all of them by 2, I think. Or we'll drop them by 1. I will save this as, let's see, temporary Spain setup. There we go. Yeah, let's run this. Okay, it starts as an 8th. Okay, that is a 3rd gear corner, and that is not a 4th gear corner. Oh shit, are we good for pole? There's no way. Yo, pole position in the Aston Martin, 80% AI. No warm up. Let's go. Okay. The Aston Martin actually sounds really good. I like it a lot. Not as good as the Red Bull, but it's pretty good.
It's time to remind ourselves once again of our top 3.
Wow, this is gonna be a boring race. If I qualified so far ahead, it's over, bro. He's cooked. And there's not gonna be no entertainment. Yeah, race. Let's see. Okay. Strategy. Yeah, sorry for the sniffling. I had allergy reactions today, and so I'm not doing that good. So we're not quite cooking exactly, but it's okay. Oh, I got a message. Ooh, okay. I think we should be good now. Let's underfuel. Actually, not underfuel by a lot, because I want to be able to push a lot more. Actually, I think I will underfuel. Because something that I wasn't very good with last season when I was doing my professional races was that I wasn't very good at doing cool laps or anything like that. So I'll fuel for exactly the amount of the laps I need, and that'll probably require me to do fuel saving and stuff. Let's also go for a conservative strategy so I can think about my tire wear and stuff more. Okay, really good start. I'm gonna take the inside to defend from Max. Cut a little bit of the grass, but that's fine. Max is going for the outside though. We're gonna just keep it planted in the middle, but I did overshoot my braking right there. We do get better traction though, so we're able to kind of keep our ground from him. 7, brake. That's something you don't get to see every day. Fernando Alonso getting fastest lap is crazy. Oh, a little deep into that turn, but that's okay. We can make it up for it in the exit. I've decided to keep my racing line on for the corners because I haven't familiarized with myself with Spain. Last time I raced on Spain, I was still using the racing line. So I've decided to keep it on for now just so I don't make any huge mess ups. But we can turn that off later in the race. That was a little bit more on the curb than I would have liked.
Battery charge is high, let's use that overtake button a bit more.
hard to talk and race at the same time, unless like if I'm not in a group in like a good state. Oh, that error does give Max the ability, but we can defend going into this corner all the way into second to allow us to get more traction. Block him off, shut the door. Hold the inside of the line to make sure that he doesn't take it. Oh, I was too low for that. But let's see now. Use a lot of our ERS here down the straight. I think about now is where I'll stop using it because I can defend the rest of it using just like my racing line and position. We have started building up not a big gap, but he's not like up our gearbox anymore, which is good. Oh, okay, that was a pretty big mistake on my part. And that does leave me vulnerable for Max. I don't want to use all my ERS down the straight as well, but I'll use it a little bit for this part of the straight, and I'll hold the inside line here. So that I can brake late, and then try to go wheel to wheel here. Get a good exit. There we go. That's how you defend. Masterclass right there. Oh my god. I was actually quite happy with that. Part of my skill as a driver, I know that I want to try to make it so that I'm a clean racer and that I defend really well. So that's something I'm working on all the time whenever I'm doing things like this, where I'm practicing or etc. If you're wondering why I took that turn and that straight on 7th gear, it's so that I can save a bit more fuel, because I know that Max isn't going to threaten an overtake on me. Like, that's the same reason I'm in 5th right now. So I know that he is quite far back, that he probably won't try making a move on me. And about here I'll use a little bit of ERS, but other than that I won't use it as much. Obviously, again, brake here, take a defending position. And we make those corners pretty safe. Well, I don't like having him in my DRS. It kind of like, I can't do too much without it without overcooking my tires. This time, by the looks of it, he is close, so I'll use ERS down the straight a little bit and position my car right here, give him the space he would need, and then just try to outbrake him again into these next turns. Obviously give him racing room and then just hold the outside line. This turn is just too wide in order to keep good traction on the outside, so I'll almost always take my position back. That is not ideal, but we can do a little bit of defending here. I hope I didn't hit his wheel there. He was a lot closer to that time, but I'll use more ERS to kind of neutralize that. Once again, we break here. He's not alongside me completely, so I can take a more outside approach to save my race more, like save my line more. Okay, lap 14 is when I need a pit. Good to know. So I need to make these tires last at least a good 6 laps more, which might be tough. Let's see. 34%, yeah, I think my tire's gonna be at like 50% by the time I'm done this stint, which is actually pretty good for getting used out of the medium tires. What I'll try to explain right now while I am racing is that the fact that going to a higher gear can save you fuel because you're reducing the RPM level of the car, so it doesn't require as much fuel for the engine to be running at such a higher level. Max is, I think, too far back to be making a move this turn. It looks like it. Yeah, I think he's too far back. So we can keep our normal line here.
Okay, be aware, the grip levels are going to start falling away soon.
Thank you for letting me know, Mark. I can't really see anyone else in my rearview mirror, and so it kind of feels like we've checked out from the rest of the grid, even though it's only like a 4-second gap to Perez. I think I'm losing grip, but I think Max is losing more grip than me. I feel like I'm getting a lot of more time on him in these turns. That was a little bit too much curb than I would have liked to use there. I think I could have gone for lower wings, or sorry, higher wings to get better turning. Because it looks like I thought the DRS would be more powerful on this straight, especially from that Red Bull, but it's not looking too powerful here. I think the start of lap 12 I'm going to start pushing again, but until then I'm going to do a little bit of lift and coast as much as I can without giving Max the overtake. Misclicked into second there. Okay, this is good. We've increased the gap a bit more again. He's going to get DRS, but if we can keep the gap up at this pace, we're doing a really good pace right now. I'm doing right now is rather than shifting into a specific gear, I'm kind of shifting into whatever gear I think I need to be using at the time, and that allows me to kind of learn to gear shift without thinking about, oh, okay, this corner I need to shift lower. I'm kind of memorizing the track with my thumb positions at the same time. And this is way more effective than thinking like, okay, I'm entering the long straight, I need to be in this gear before I go.
We're approaching the pit window.
Alright, Max is he was closer to that lap, but our ERS is higher, so that was the main goal of those last 2 laps, was to charge my ERS up a bit more. I can definitely feel the tires losing grip now though, so they're definitely getting a lot more scrappy. Right here. Oh yeah. Okay, we brought the gap to above a second, so Max's tires were definitely falling off now, I think. Which I think makes sense, because he's been running in my dirty air the whole last stint for his tires as well. Since my tires are faded, it's good to stay up an extra gear, just so that I don't lose too much mechanical grip. I'm able to provide I don't spin my wheels up more. So I think right before I pit, I'm probably going to pause the game for a bit just to check up on my phone and stuff a little bit, because I might be expecting a message or two. If I could though, I would like to extend this stint out a bit more, just so that I can perhaps get to either increase the gap a bit more to Max, or maybe go for like a... I'm not quite sure actually. Oh, that was pretty bad. I didn't brake enough for that one.
Okay, we want you to pit this lap, so push now, push.
Okay, you heard him.
Lance is in for his stop. We've got a lot of spare energy. Okay to use your overtake button.
So I'm going to start using it a little bit now, just so that I know that it's going to recharge when I'm in the pit, so I don't need to worry about the amount I'm using right now. Okay, I'm going to pause right here, just so I can do my little checkup. also check up on the chat right now. Oh, there has been a lot of talk in the chat. If you're watching the stream, message in the chat. Does it make noise every time you need to change gears? It doesn't necessarily make noise every time you need to change gears. There's an option you have. I can actually show you the option right now. But it's in settings, and I assume it's in audio settings. Yeah, right here. It's called upshift tone, and it basically just makes a constant tone when you need to upshift. And I have this for when I'm learning a new track, so I know the basic upshifts and downshifts, and then from there I can deviate to do my own. Oh, okay. Good night, Roodles Caboodles. Thank you for tuning in for a bit. All right, we'll get back to F1. I'm just gonna clean up my nose real quick. All right, we should be good. Should be good. Nice.
Okay, go, go, go. Perfect job on the turn.
Oh, nice.
Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one.
Good stop from.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
So yeah, like I said, the ERS didn't really matter of how much I used because you can see it's at 100% after being in the pits. A good thing to note about the gear shifting though is that if you feel like you're not getting enough turn in, you can always just downshift and you'll get more, the car will just rotate more, which I think is really cool.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by
We'll use some ERS on the straight just to neutralize the gap to Max. I think he looked to go for a move, but then he hesitated, and that's gonna cost him a couple of tenths. A little slight dip into the grass there, but it shouldn't be too bad for us, I think. We just keep doing our race. If Max stays behind us, then he'll have DRS, but he'll also be getting the dirty air from our car, so it'll cook his tires more, and that might leave him vulnerable to Perez, so we don't need to worry about it too much. My fuel is yellow though, and I'm gonna check what it is on the straight. Oh, my floor did not like that. We'll use a bit more ERS this straight. Yeah, my minus half a lap. I'm gonna have to start fuel saving at some point. Something important to know about defense in this game is you need to, in racing games in general, or F1 in general, you need to kind of read your opponent and know who you're going up against. You need to know how they attack. I know that Max Verstappen, especially his AI form, is not going to go for any crazy moves on me down that straight. So I'm more confident in keeping my line that straight, just so I don't have to sacrifice my first and second turn. Whereas someone else, I might have to go defensive because they might be known for like breaking late and going for insane moves. You just need to have that confidence in yourself, knowing that your line is right and you should have a good read on the enemy or the other driver. Oh, that was a bit twitchy for me. That wasn't a good turn at all. 'For anyone who wants to learn how to get defense pretty well, I think it's really good to load up like a race like this, and then just start try to find a good AI level for you, where you're matched well with the first, like the top one AI. Like for me, it's Max Verstappen. I know that some other tracks it might be Perez or Leclerc, and just try to see how long you can defend against them and try to learn their patterns. And once you learn the patterns, you'll be able to learn patterns of other drivers pretty easily as well, because you'll be in you'll know what to look for. If you feel like you're a pretty aggressive driver, a good thing to judge to know if someone's going to go for a gap is to think about whether you would go for that gap yourself. So think about it like, okay, I know Max is a relatively aggressive driver, and I know that I am too. So if I was in his position at that distance, would I go for that gap? Well, I know personally I wouldn't, so I'm going to assume that he probably wouldn't either. You can also adjust those based off how more or less aggressive you think the other driver is from you. If you've been racing with them for a long time, you can also probably find their history and like, you know, how well are they at overtaking. I know I have some friends who aren't the best at overtaking. They try their best, but they haven't fully like perfected their racecraft yet. So I know that for them, like I'm extra careful around them because I feel like they might go for a gap that doesn't exist, but they might think it does, and so you have to tweak it a little bit depending on the skill level of the driver as well. This is quite a boring race to watch since I'm not like cutting through the field or anything. So I might give Verstappen the lead on purpose to try and show some overtaking content as well. I think we'll do it on the straight.
Place
So
back.
knowing that Max is ahead of me now, I start braking earlier a little bit because there is now a car in front of me, and my braking points are kind of delayed by a car length. You also have to account for the dirty air coming off of the other driver's car. Like here I'm going to go a bit deeper and set myself up for a better exit than he has gotten to allow me to keep the gap closer because I know that's the strength of my car. Obviously we get DRS down the straight. So for overtaking, I will say straights will probably be your best friend. It's always easier to get into DRS and then overtake down the straight, as many of you know. But sometimes you can use straights to get your opponents in a worse position for the turn, and then overtake on the turn. You also want to stay right behind the car in tow. I think that's pretty self-set. I'm going to thread in for an overtake. Max seems to have that sorted out though. He's not too worried about me getting an overtake there. So we're closer this time, but I don't know if we're close enough to go for an overtake. I think I'll use a little bit of ERS to go for an overtake. So here I'm closing up. I'm going to go for the inside, and then I'll fake to the outside. I'm going to try to shift down a gear and go all the way around the outside here. He is on the inside defending his line, which is completely fair, but I'll try to squish him out.
Okay, good work. Great pass.
That's always not the best idea though, because if they clip your wheel, then you might just get spun out there if you don't have traction control on. You can get spun out in general if they wheel lock you, so it's risky to try to close in like that. But if you can tell, if you have a good sense using the arrows, then you can definitely go for something like that, and it feels rewarding.
Gap to your teammate behind is 38.2 seconds.
I just checked my fuel and it's not looking quite good, so I'm going to start doing some lifting and coasting and see if I can lift and coast while also defending from Max. it's just so fast. So that defending move was the case of letting him by a little bit, but making sure I'm still within a crucial length that I'm able to just outbrake him going into the next turn.
And that's just 5 laps of fuel remaining. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving.
Thank you, Mark. I swear, sometimes Mark can be the most useful guy I know, and sometimes he can be the most useless guy I know. He's never in between, one or the other.
Okay, we lost the position, try to keep focus.
I will say it's getting harder to fuel manage with as time goes on. Oh gosh,
Okay,
safety
information
car.
off Bottas. Okay, they're out of this race.
Probably not. They don't usually do safety car for this stuff.
Caution, caution. The track is clear, green flag.
Ooh, okay. Gap's not too bad right now. I'm not gonna really use my ERS to defend anything this time, and I'm not gonna worry too much about my fuel anymore because I think I might be able to defend with in low fuel mode. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing right now, where I where I do a lot of coasting. Maybe I'm not lifting and coasting enough if I'm about to lap someone.
Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps.
chuckles, I'm in danger. Okay, this is a bit of an interesting situation. I'm going to try to hold the inside because I know that there's a guy up there and I don't want to give Max the inside for that turn because I'm going to get slowed down by the guy here. Oh, that was a smart move by Verstappen there. I outbroke myself, but that's okay. I think we should be able to get a good move going out of this next turn. Yeah, and we're almost on the gearbox here. I don't think I might even have to use DRS for this
managing
one.
your tyres, manage your tyres.
Let's go to the inside. Overtake before the line. Nice. Very nice overtake around the outside of that turn 1, turn 2 section. Actually, we made that pass before we actually even got into the actual turn. I'm going to start upshifting a bit earlier to save fuel. So my fuel will be critical next lap, I believe. A little bit right after I start the last lap, I believe.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 48.5 seconds.
So 4 tenths behind with DRS closing up. We brake earlier to get a little bit more ERS and then save our fuel.
Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Good to know. Going out of that turn, I felt pretty good about it.
Final lap. Let's
I'm going to use a good chunk of my ERS on this one to defend and brake. We should be hitting fuel saving mode soon, I believe. Oh, there looks to be a lineup at the front there. Yeah, I'm in low fuel mode now. So I'm going to have to be more careful with how I defend for Max here.
Okay, clear.
I I'm gonna dump my ERS here and then give him the squeeze, but let's see if I could do a little bit of outbraking. That's good. Oh, the straight's definitely gonna be the most difficult part though. Let's use ERS on the straight here. Dump the ERS. Please, please, speed I need. Let's go. Oh my god, I can't believe that worked.
Fantastic drive, that's just fantastic.
Oh.
You deserve
Oh.
that race win. Well done, mate.
Good to see, good to see.
Aston Martin deserved the win today, and they got it. So Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this
Oh,
result?
that was a good race.
Breeds confidence. Success.
Definitely my last race
It's
though, because
time to
I'm
present
sniffling a
the
bit
top
too much
drivers with their
to
trophies for
keep
today's
streaming.
Grand Prix. There are a lot of people in the paddock very happy with this result. It's Aston Martin on the top step. So then, Natalie
Let's
Pinkham,
get that gap
who would you
off
rank as
for
your driver of the day?
I think it has to be Fernando Alonso. He got the strategy
400s is
spot
a
on and
crazy.
consistently had the pace to come through
Thank
as
God
well.
we able to
Well,
make that
what an
finish.
end to another fantastic
Well,
weekend of racing.
thank you
Thanks
guys
to
for coming to
everyone
the
who
stream. Enjoying that little race. Quick stream, because I was gonna race anyway, so might as well stream it. And I will see you guys maybe tomorrow actually. Maybe I might stream tomorrow. Bye.